Hello, it's Mitch Char, President and founder of ZinMarketing.com, and today we have a nice, short, simple, and really powerful tip for you, and especially if you're doing things where your audience is potentially on a mobile phone, which these days is almost 40% or more for most audiences. So you just can't ignore this anymore. Let's jump right in. One of the best marketers in the world, maybe ever, is a fellow by the name of Jay Abraham. So I'm sitting here looking at my inbox on my phone, and I see a little message from Jay Abraham. I'm always keen to see what he has to say. So I look at the message, and if you look at the from, you can see who it's from. That alone is enough to get me interested in reading his emails. That from address, make sure you spend some time to make sure that it resonates with your clients. So if they know who you are, if you're a celebrity, if your brand is powerful enough, you can make that the from address, and people will, when they're trying to make their decision to read a message or delete a message, that alone would be enough. In this case, it's enough because I'll read anything that Jay sends. However, take a look at the subject line. It says a way to assure / enhance, and it might be enhance, but I can't see the whole word because it's truncated. So do you know what that means? Because I don't know what that means. And so if I was relying on that subject line to open the message, I just wouldn't do it. And that is one reason why your subject lines have to be short, especially these days if people are going to look at them on a mobile phone. The next thing I notice is the preview pane, and most every piece of software has a preview pane these days, is going to show you the first two sentences of the email. In many cases, the email service provider software will take over this space and put in something that they think is more important than your marketing message. So in this case, whatever software Jay was using to send this out with, it felt it was more important for me to know that this email was sent as HTML only. To view it, please visit, and then it's also truncated. Don't let the tech message trump your marketing language. That's a complete disaster. So if this wasn't Jay Abraham, if somebody sent me a message that says a way to assure this email was sent as HTML, that's not enough to put me in the message. I'm just not going to look at it. Odds are pretty good I'll just delete it because it doesn't mean anything. You can't send an email message out that's gibberish and expect people to open it. It's plain and simple. So make sure that the tech work doesn't overpower your email work. Here's what the real email looks like. You go into the real email. I can see it's all again, it's from Jay Abraham, but there's the full subject line. Now they show me the full subject line as if it's more important that I'll spend my time trying to figure out, well, should I go and read this subject line to see what it is, or should I just delete it because it didn't get my attention? And I guarantee you that 99 out of 100 people will just delete it because it didn't get their attention. They're not going to go, oh, I wonder what this email is, because there's so much email in people's inboxes. They have to be very discriminate when they decide what to read. This is a good email subject line. It's just too long. A way to assure enhance your success momentum. It's got a little bit of a curiosity factor. It'll probably get my attention to go in and take a look, but because I don't get to see it, it doesn't get to do its job. So good email copy gone to waste. Then when you actually go into the message itself, it's a good message. It's got personalization. It says Mitch in there, so the personalization is lost because it's not seen in the preview pane. And then the first line, literally, and this is what the first line says in case you can't see it, literally, in the business world today, you grow or die. All right, you got my attention. I don't want to die. I'd rather grow. What is this all about? So in this case, the lead of the email is working with the subject line, and those two things are working with the from address to kind of, as a small package, get my attention, get my interest, and get me into the email. And just compare that to, where's the gibberish? There, just compare that to that. A way to assure this email was sent as HTML only. If I did a split test of those two messages against each other, the one which actually made sense would work better. So just let that sink in for a second. Here's the tips that you can take away from this. And by the way, Jay Abraham is one of the best marketers ever. For years and years and years, he's been doing the most incredible work. He was actually the marketer that inspired me to get into marketing in the first place. So, it's really, like I said, because there's only a few people that could get away with sending an email like that and have people open it. And Jay's one of them. Just because you know the name, I want to see what he's got to say in spite of the technical hurdles. So here's what you can do. Make sure your subject lines are short, and good subject lines that are short are hard to write. So if you struggle with this, you're not alone. Get rid of the tech talk, anything that's in the way of reading your message in a preview pane, and send out a test for formatting. Send your test out and see what it looks like on an iPhone. If you can, or on any email browser, if you can't read it, it's not going to have any effect. So make sure that the technology isn't working against you here. Those are 3 simple tips, and keep in mind on the iPhone these days, or on the mobile devices, more and more people are reading their emails and making the decision, do I deal with this now or do I delete it, and I don't have to, I got to delete all the stuff I don't want to deal with now so I can read the important stuff later when I'm back at my desk or when I've got more time. So really, it's screening that people are going through when they're looking at your messages on an iPhone. Don't make it easy for them to delete your message. If you want some help with this, go to zinmarketing.com/help. That's what we do all day long, is help people with their email marketing. Or if you want to learn how to do it yourself, we built a training program. You can go to nospammemailmarketing.com and learn how to do this for yourself. Hopefully that little tidbit was helpful for you, and we will see you next time.